Hi, I'm Jim Atkinson, Managing Partner for Avidian Wealth Solutions. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with Morgan Stone, formerly of Stone Wealth Management. Morgan, it's been a little over a year. How's it going?
It's going really well. I've really enjoyed my time at Avidian so far. It's been wonderful, and getting to know the new partners, the new employees. It's been a wonderful experience.
So one of the things I like to know is, how's your wife and how's your family handling it? Because there's obviously a change, right? Brand change, name change, and actually some of the changes to your daily responsibilities. So how's the family taking it?
Yes, my wife and kids have been very excited and enthusiastic about this. They see how positive I've been since this change, and they definitely are excited for me and excited about the new company that I'm a part of.
Are they seeing you more now that you've changed roles? I mean, I know in the initial transition, it takes a lot of time and you're very busy, but at this point, over a year later, things are probably settled and you have fewer things you have to deal with on a day-to-day.
Certainly, yes. My role has changed and evolved at Avidian. Certainly at Stone Wealth Management, I was wearing lots of different hats, managing, compliance to a degree, payroll, just managing all aspects of running the business, and not having all of those responsibilities and focusing more on clients and running my book of business has left more time for me to spend with my wife and kids. So that's been a nice development.
So in all honesty, does that feel good? Does it feel like a bit of a loss with the lack of those additional responsibilities?
No, I'm happy to relieve myself of those responsibilities and tasks that are sort of the necessary parts of owning a business. Now I can focus on my clients and my client relationships and cultivating new relationships. And so, yeah, absolutely, I've enjoyed not having all those responsibilities and having more focus on clients.
Speaking of clients, how are the clients receiving this change?
I would say very well, very well. I mean, of course, I've had many clients for years and years. I mean, some more than 20 years. And so when I first told them about joining Avidian, they wanted to know more about it, of course. And some people just don't like change, human nature. And so once I explained to them the new resources and investment options available through Avidian, they were very enthusiastic and are excited about the new resources we have.
So it sounds like a lot of these changes have been fairly positive for you,
Yes.
for the clients, for the staff. What's not so great? What hasn't worked out as well as you would have liked?
Well, when we decided to transition to Avidian, we had to move all of our clients from TD Ameritrade to Fidelity. So that was a bit of a challenge, having a mass migration of accounts. But the transition team really helped with that process. Certainly, we would have had to make a move regardless because of Schwab purchasing TD Ameritrade. So we're going to have to move custodians anyway. But moving from Stone to Avidian and then moving from TD Ameritrade to Fidelity, that was a logistical challenge. But certainly the transition team here at Avidian and Fidelity made that process very smooth. I would say that was probably the main challenge.
There's been a few changes with technology. A lot of the technology we had overlap using some of the same tools like Orion, but many of the others had to change. How has your staff handled some of those adjustments?
As you mentioned, we use some of the software that Avidian used. Our financial planning and portfolio management system was the same. We just switched from Redtail to WealthBox CRM, and so that was like whenever you change any software, there's a little bit of a challenge at first, but within several weeks, you almost forget about how you were using the old software because you become so used to the new software. So it's just a matter of working through the change, but it was fine.
Let's pivot to growth.
Mm-hmm.
So I think one of the reasons you did this, and I know you would talk to many firms, and your focus was on, okay, this is great, but how am I going to continue to grow and kind of accelerate the growth I've already had? Mm-hmm. What have you experienced or seen so far with respect to being able to focus on clients and prospecting and maybe what the firm can deliver for you?
Sure. So one of my main objectives and one of the main things that attracted me to Avidian was the opportunity to offer alternative investments to our clients, which we did not really have that capability before. So being able to offer our clients opportunities in private real estate, private equity, private credit has really kind of expanded the type of client we appeal to in terms of net worth. I mean, as a practical matter, the higher net worth clients are looking for solutions more than just the stock market and the bond market. They want access to other types of investments, which we weren't able to offer at Stone, but which we can now offer at Avidian. So that has definitely helped our ability to attract higher net worth clients.
So it's lifted the cap. So you and I spoke maybe year and a half ago about the fact that you were kind of limited in the size of the client you could bring on, not specific limitations, but kind of the clients would drop off after a certain size because they wanted the alternative investments and maybe some of the other capabilities. So you felt that cap lift.
I felt the cap lift, and also clients are contributing more of their funds to our accounts at Avidian because we have access to these additional investment types, to the private equity, private credit, private real estate, and hedge fund solutions. They're adding more to our assets because they recognize and see that we have more options for them.
So you picked up share of wallet.
Absolutely, more wallet share. Absolutely.
Morgan, when you started this process of examining what your options were, you ended up looking at all the big national aggregators, local as well. You had every option on the table. Every firm wants to be in Austin. So I'm curious, why did you choose Avidian? What was it that sort of set us apart?
Well, certainly the ability to offer alternative investments, as we've discussed, but also the structure of Avidian appealed to me and the size appealed to me. I did speak to a lot of national firms that have offices all over the country, and really coming from a small business owner initially, the idea of joining a large firm with 50 or 100 offices really was not very appealing to me. So being the fourth office for Avidian and not the 50th or 100th, that really felt good to me. It felt like that was where we needed to be and not part of a larger national organization.
So we also don't have private equity.
That's true.
And I think that's different. And we're Texas-based, which you're in Texas. I assume those two played a major impact.
Absolutely, yes. Not being private equity based, financing your acquisitions through, I guess, through bank financing, really had a lot of appeal to me. We've all heard stories about companies who are absorbed by private equity firms and the challenges there. I definitely like the idea of sidestepping those and working and joining a firm that was not private equity based. That had a lot of appeal to me.
One of the things I've always thought is that you've got these firms and private equity has an agenda, which may be in conflict, may or may not, but it may be in conflict with the agenda of the advisors, which is to take care of the clients. You've got two sets of agendas, and that can create problems.
Sure it can. Certainly, we want to grow our firm, but we want to grow the firm as we want to, and not feel outside pressure to meet certain benchmarks. We want to grow the firm the way we feel is best for our clients and our employees and the firm. So not having the private equity influence on that aspect, I think, is a very nice attribute of Avidian.
One of the things that I think is fascinating is I've known folks that have joined some of these large aggregators recently, and their complaint is, it feels like I'm back at Merrill Lynch. You're going to this RIA space, the fiduciary space, which I think historically has been kind of a cottage industry, very small, unique, boutique. And once you hit $100 billion, they're not any different than a Merrill Lynch or a big corporate organization. And they probably have to manage it that way to get that big. But have you heard that? And did that dissuade you from looking seriously at those large firms?
I not heard that specifically, but it certainly does not surprise me. that once you get into a certain size, kind of the scale and the economics of it make it harder to run your office or your shop the way you want to run it, versus having just simply the scale of operation really commands everyone does manage their book a certain way in sort of uniformity to the firm mandates. Not having that pressure or structure is very appealing here at Avidian.
Okay, Morgan, so the big question is, having run your own firm and having been here a year now, did you make the right decision?
Absolutely. I couldn't be happier. The resources that are available to us are extremely helpful to our clients, to us. I'm very happy or very pleasantly surprised how helpful everyone is here in the Houston office, that They go out of their way to be helpful, generous with their time, eager to provide guidance to us as we sort of work our way into the Avidian office. And so I've been very pleased and very happy with all aspects of our decision to join Avidian.
Morgan, we couldn't be happier the way this worked out. So on behalf of Avidian, welcome to the team. We're so happy you're here. Your team is wonderful. They fit in so well with our team. Thanks for stopping by.
My pleasure, absolutely.